Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are doing great. This is the second part of the two-part video series in which I showed you how to create stairs in Blender without the use of any add-ons. So let's get started. As this is a floating stair, it will also have vertical support from the ceiling. So for that is again very simple. What I will do is I will just add a cylinder in the scene and then scale it down by a large amount again, and then go into the edit mode and G and then Z. Over here it can also go within the landing because most probably it will be connected through the mid landing only, then duplicate on the other side as well. So now that we have basic support for our staircase as well from the ceiling, what I will do is now we can move on to the next step, which is adding the materials. So adding the materials is very simple. First we will switch the render engine to cycles. Now that we have changed it to cycles, the very first material that we are going to add in the scene is the wood material. Oh, also please, I forgot it, let me quickly add it. You know that whenever we are making stairs, and stairs are not perfect anytime, anywhere, they will always be beveled on the edges because you do not want to get your toe hurt when you're climbing stairs. This is true with almost everything. In every geometry there is some curvature to it. So to do that, what I will do is I will go over here and press the bevel modifier. This has given it an automatic beveling on all sides. I will change the amount to 0.05 and segments to 3. This will look fine. Now let's add the first material, that is the step material. All these materials that I'm taking are PBR textures which have been downloaded from Share Textures and they are free to use. I will give a link of them in the description below and you can download it from there. In the shader editor, so the first material is the step material. I will write step material, and then over here the basic PBR setup is very easy to do, but there is a quicker method. That is, if you have turned the node triangular add-on, you can go over here and turn that on again using the edit option and then preferences, and then search for node triangular over here, node triangular add-on. It has already been turned on in my case. So this option allows you to give a very quick setup of all the materials that we are using. So the shortcut for that is Control, select the principal shader and then press Control plus Shift plus T. Now it will prompt me to select the wood material that I want. So in this case it is a 2K texture of like a wood fine texture, fine wood texture. I will select them all and then principal texture setup. Now you can see it is crazy fast as it will give you the same result. It has already set the color, the specularity, normal and the displacement. In this case we won't be needing displacement as we already have the normal map. This is real quick, and if you want to do any other changes then you can edit it, but this gives a basic setup very quick to us. Now we'll change the world settings to this and then let's have a quick preview. Now by pressing the slash option you can also isolate this over here, and then once you have isolated it you can easily check. Now you can see the texture is a bit of, that is because the basic step has not been UV unwrapped. So for that I will go into tab and then press A and then press U unwrap. Now this time I will go over here in the UV editor, and then what I will do is I will press A and select them all and rotate them by 90 degree. This will look better in our case, this orientation of the texture, so I will keep it to this. Now this looks fine, but the scale of it is a bit too big, so what I can do is either change them all individually, or I can go over here, select a value option and then plug the value over here and then give it a value of 8 maybe. A value of 8 will look a bit smaller, maybe 6 will look fine. Yeah, 6 seems to be working in our case. Now that we have set this up, now the light material that we are talking about, I'll set that up very quickly. I'll again isolate it. Let me give it some more space. Then I'll go into the edit mode. Over here I will use a face select option, and then in the materials I will add a new material. Over here press a new material and then give it some name, that is light maybe. And in the node setup, what you can do is we are going to give it an emission shader, which will allow us to give a proper amount of lighting to it. I will plug that into the surface option, and then I'll use the black body node for more accurate values. We will get a quick preview. This is too dark and dull for our case. I will change the temperature to roughly around 3500 and a strength of maybe 5, and this looks fine. Maybe we can check that out. We cannot see the material because we haven't assigned one yet. Now that we have the face selected and the material setup, you have to press the assign option. This is a very important step. Now this has been done. This gives a very quick setup. Now we'll again bring that into the scene. Now that we have set the stairs material, what I will do is this time I will add the floor material. Again I will use the same Control Shift T shortcut, and this time I'll select this. This texture is again from Share Textures. You can download it. I will isolate that this time, and then let's see what happens. Let me also turn the screencast keys. I just noticed it. Now let me first see, and it is too big right now. I will add a value node over here and give it a value of 12, and this much would look fine over here in our case. So I will again bring that back. Now as for the room wall material, what we are going to do is I will delete all of these materials and we'll go with the basic setup, which is like the PBR setup. Okay, we already had that over here, so I will add a principal shader. And then after the principal shader, I will again apply that. This time I'll use a concrete texture for the walls. I'll select them all and I'll do that. In this particular case, again the displacement has been set up, and in the preview it is looking a bit too much. So I will delete this displacement option over here. Again I will go into so this is a very repetitive step. Once you have figured this out, you can add any material to the scene very quickly. Let me give a value of 10 and let's see how it looks. Now I'll save it once and give it it has already been named to wall material. In this case, first let's check out the glass material. The glass material is not according to the liking, so I will remove all of this, and then I'll first add a mix shader. This material setup is not mine. This is what I learned from Blender Guru myself a few months back, and this is a very good setup and a very fast setup for glass. You can check out his videos for this to learn more about it. What I will do is I will add a glass PSDF shader. On the bottom socket I will add a transparent shader. So basically in the first mix shader we are mixing the glass shader with the transparent one, and then we are repeating the mix shader. So the transparent shader is being used in the bottom socket to give it a proper transparency and the look we want. Now this looks a bit off because for the glass the light path node has not been added, which will help us define the shadow, the diffusion and the glossiness of the glass. To add that I will use the vector converter and then the math node. I will first add the shadow ray and the diffuse ray. We are basically adding all three of them using the add node in our scene. And then I'll duplicate it again, as it only had two sockets and we had three inputs on the other side. Now this will work as a factor for the second mix shader. Now for the first mix shader, what we are going to do is we are going to add a Fresnel node, which will tell us the amount of refraction within glass, and this will as a factor for the first mix shader. Now I will give it a value of roughly around 30. You can change it accordingly. Now the other major step that I'll do is first we'll add an environment. For that I will go into the color, I will go into the world settings, and then over here using this option I will check the environment texture option, and then I'll open that. I already have an HDRI folder with many HDRIs downloaded from HDRI Haven. I will leave the link to this one in the description. You can check that out or download any other one. Now to change the settings of the HDRI, what we can do is we can go to the world settings in the shader menu. This time we will use the Control T option. This will only work if you have the Node Wrangler add-on setup. Now first let me go into the render settings and then we will see. So currently it is set up at this. If I want to change it a bit, I can give it a rotation of around 20 degree and then I'll save it. Also the wall over here is ending abruptly. Usually there will be a overhang on the top and the bottom. So what we can do is I will very quickly add a plane in the scene, or maybe I'll just add a cube. I'll turn the snap option off, select the vertex select mode, so this will give us the appropriate overhang that we want, and I will delete this face, and then I'll delete this face as well. I will press tab and select all, and this time I will just do a smart UV project, as this would not be a major element in the scene. So I will give it the wall material, which is like basically continuing from inside. Now that we have this also set up, now we will do the glass setup for the railing. Now this one is important because it is a bit different from the window glass setup. So over here I will select this glass option, but now to change it, if I change it right now, it will also change the material of the window. To change it individually, I will press this number option over here and make it a copy of that material, which will not affect that material directly. So now this time what we are going to do is that you must have seen that whenever there are glass panels or railings, usually on the edges there is light being absorbed, which is giving it a black kind of shade at the edges. So to give a physically accurate glass material in our scene as well, what I will do is I will use a volume absorption node. So this node, what it does is that whenever light passes through glass, if we are using this node, it will absorb some of the light and then it will catch it along the edges and display the desired result. So now this time it is a volume node, so it will go into the volume option over here. So I will pin it over here and give it a higher density of around 35. Now I will isolate this first and then we'll see what has been done. We can already see black edges, which will give us the accurate results in our case. So this would be fine for us. I will bring back the scene. Now that we have also set this up, we do not need to set this up over here. I will add the landing material as the step material. And again I will do a UV unwrapping of it. Similarly, this step again will be UV unwrapped, and then over here I will give it the step material again. Now to give the light material again I will just select this option over here add a new material in the material list, and then select the light option and then hit assign this time. So this has basically been done. Now the next is the supports over here. These supports, I will give a basic metallic color to it, or maybe some shade of gold or bronze, somewhere in between. This will look fine. Similarly, it can be done for this as well. I will name it as support. Let's save it once. For this, I will add a metallic to it and add some. This will look fine. I will decrease the roughness. Yeah, I will call this hang, and the same material will be used for the railing as well. Hang. It doesn't have to be too accurate because it won't be the main element in the scene. Now to add more realism to it, what you can do is later on you can add loop cuts over here and then give it some extrusion, so it will look like this is not a single piece of glass, rather multiple glass has been joined using supports. For now we will leave it to this. Now I will check the placement of this because it was a bit beneath the flooring, and this is fine. Now I will select the room, and this time let me turn the ceiling option on. Now we will do a material camera setup for the scene. I will add a camera to scene using the shift add menu option. I will go in the scene, roughly over here, and then what I will do is that I will press Ctrl plus Alt plus 0. So what this has done is that it has moved the camera to view, like whatever we are viewing in the viewport, and once we have selected the camera, using this shortcut we can directly bring the camera to the viewport. Now I will bring the focal length to roughly around 30. Let me check this out. Also I will change the dimensions of the render setting. I will give this 1240, this as 1920. Yeah. To move it smoothly, turn the snap function off. I will rotate this along Z axis. I will go into the top view once and let me check it over here. Yeah. For a better composition, what we can also do is we can turn on guides. So for that, go to the camera option and then go to the viewport display, turn on the composition guides, and I will click on the center, and we will use this over here. Another thing I will do is I will add depth of field. So the object that I will select is cylinder in this case, which is the support, and the f-stop I will decrease it to 2.2 roughly. I will save it once, and then what I will do is, now that we have added all of these, let us first see a preview of it. I will limit the render to render region, so this way it can happen a bit more quickly. As you can see, I will zoom the camera a little bit out by basically changing the focal length. I will go to the solid view and maybe I will change it to 26, and then I'll rotate it. Also the environment lighting was a bit low, so I will change the strength to 3 maybe, and then we will see it again. This time it looks perfectly fine. So now what I will do is we will add the render samples. Now we will, for the final render, I will give it render samples of roughly around 350. I will turn on the denoising. I will select render over here. Other than this, you can do color management over here. It has already been set to filmic. You can change the look to any one of these. For now this will look fine. I will maybe do it to low contrast and put it to render. So guys, this is the final render as you can see here on the screen. Over here I have removed the support for the stairs which was given from the ceiling as it didn't look that appropriate, but you can keep it if you want to, and I did some other minor changes here and there. I hope this two-part video series really helped you understand how to create stairs in Blender, obviously with a few tips and tricks here and there which I incorporated in the video. I hope you learned something new from this video today. If you did, please hit the like button, subscribe if you are new to the channel, hit the bell notification icon for latest updates, and guys, do not forget to share it with your friends who are wanting to learn Blender for a long time and were not able to do so. Thank you.